Morning guys, Chef Tush coming at you. It's Saturday the 19th of May and got a long weekend here, so looking forward to getting a lot of work done on the car. Been watching a lot of videos on the tube and sort of really getting into it. I haven't watched a lot of TV lately. I've just been spending a lot of time watching YouTube, and I've been trying to catch up with a few guys, going back through some of the old videos that they've posted. I've been on Pisser's channel quite a bit and watched some of the projects that he's done in the past, and saw that he picked up a new Trans Am, which kind of takes me back because my second car that I ever owned was actually a Firebird Formula. Not quite the Trans Am, but pretty fun, and obviously a lot of styling was the same on the Formula versus a Trans Am. I love that engine turn dash as one of my favorite things in the car that I remember. Anyway, it looks like he's going to have a lot of fun with that car, so it's a good look with that. And I'm watching some of the Faster Cats video. I used to have a Camaro as well, so it looks like you're doing a lot of stripping on that and getting that etching product in there, trying to get some of that rust pitting, which is great. So it looks like it's turning out really well. Metal's looking really good. Been watching some of VW Darren's videos, working on the Beetle and working on the Nova. So I've been enjoying those videos. I know he had a trip to the junkyard today. I think what he was doing was pretty much looking for some interior panels to help out Tom from Tom's Wonderful World, who had a welding fire, unfortunately. So not good. Good to see though that the garage was saved and the damage was limited. So hopefully I'll get that sorted out, and I've got a little more to say about that in a little bit. When we're watching Turbo Cobra, Matt and Gary painting the wheels on the Mustang project. It's looking fantastic. Watched the pinstriping video this morning as well. So a big choice there. Whether you want to go with a copper or black, not sure what the decision's going to be there. Seems like it's about, I don't know, lots of different opinions on what color you should go with. Probably as many different opinions as whether you should go with the matte clear or the gloss for the clear coat on the roof. Anyway, I'm sure you'll get that sorted out as well. I'm looking forward to seeing the next video on that. Watching Dan Electro, and he's got that Ferrari in it at his garage, doing some body work and some spray painting on that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that project turns out, and I'm also looking forward to seeing more progress on the TR5. I know he's got some shiny bits on the chassis, and it's looking really good. So yeah, I'm watching that one with interest because it's pretty close to my heart, having a TR250 here, which is the next project in line for me after the TR3. So I'm watching and learning from Dan. Watched Cecil doing some painting on or finishing the painting on the Mustang, which is great to see. It looks awesome. So at some point I'll be painting this TR3 project that I'm working on, so hopefully mine turns out as well as the Mustang did. I've been watching John Carey, another brick car, a 63 Jag, visit to the shop. Found a little bit of damage on one of the panels underneath the car, so now you'll get that sorted out. Also watched that electroplating video, which was pretty cool. I've not done that. It looks like a pretty good setup, and maybe something that I'll maybe do on the next project. Wild Island Northern Boy looks like he's making a big sandblasting cabinet out of an old cabinet, so that's kind of an interesting project, and we'll see how that turns out. Watching Greg Porter rescue that dash from the VW, and when I first saw that dash I didn't think it was going to be really possible to do that, but it's looking really good now. So I've done a lot of work on that, and I think it's going to turn out really good in the end. And of course been watching Pete from SWRNC, and I'll see some McGee there looking for some tires for his pickup truck. Made me laugh. So good on you, Pete. It was a pretty fun video. Anyway, so like I said, working on the TR3 today again. We've got the long weekend. I'm hoping to get the interior of the body tub painted. The weather is absolutely fantastic. It's about 21 degrees Celsius here today. Birds are out, sun's shining. Okay, enough of looking at me. But yeah, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Bright blue skies. looking fantastic. Trees are coming out. This tree coming out, I've got to straighten that guy up. I've got to get a stake in him. This tree is really getting crazy this year. So Magnolia unfortunately didn't do well this year because we had a really late freeze, and you can see all the leaves have come out on the trees, but all the flowers have all sort of dried up and are brown and just about ready to blow away. So unfortunately we didn't have a good display on the Magnolia this year. Anyway, so back to the TR3 project and what I did. Now let's talk about fire extinguishers. So based on Tom's Wonderful Worlds video, first thing I did this morning is I went up to the store and bought another fire extinguisher for the garage. I do have one in the garage that I keep over here underneath my sandblaster, but I know that Tom had two extinguishers and one didn't work, so I thought it might be good to go out and get another one. So thanks, Tom, for unfortunately I had to experience that, but obviously it's a good message to everybody to have good working fire extinguishers in a garage, particularly when my house is attached to my garage. My bedroom is actually right there. And there's another reminder, actually, another safety reminder that I leave. I don't know if you can see that in the ceiling of my garage. That's actually a piece of a cutoff wheel, and I leave it up there to remind me to make sure I wear safety goggles when I'm using a cutoff disc to cut anything off the car. So, you know, that could have easily been in an eye. So I leave that up there as a reminder, and I look up and see it every now and then and make sure I put my goggles on or my safety shield. So anyway, so the plan today is to finish blasting the tub. I'm going to use, I bought a new bag of crushed glass. It's 30 to 60 grit crushed glass. It's a little finer than I normally use. It's the only thing they had available at the store. It's $10 for a 50-pound bag, and what I've been doing is open blasting just with a regular old siphon feed gun. It's very messy, but it's effective. And what I end up doing with the glasses on the floor is I'll sweep it up, I'll throw it in my old kitchen colander and give it a shake like I'm doing some mining for gold, and that'll get all the nasty bits out of it so it won't clog the gun up. So that's what I've been doing as far as the blasting is concerned, and really I'm just doing the interior of the tub with that. I don't obviously intend to do any of the panels. I don't want the exterior panels to warp, so that's really just limited to the interior of the tub, and I did the bottom of the tub as well. So hopefully the plan is to finish blasting the interior of the tub, and then we'll do the whole port 15 process on the interior of the tub, much like I did to the bottom of the tub. And I thought I'd just run you through the process and the products used for that part of the project. So the first thing you need to do with any port 15 product is use a marine clean product to clean the surface up. You mix this with warm water. You can dilute it, I think it's 50-50. I have to read the directions again, but it depends on how strong you want this concentrate. I think you can do it straight up if you really wanted to, but it's non-corrosive, so and it's industrial strength degreaser. I don't tend to have to use this a lot when I'm when I'm doing sandblasting on the tub, because I can pretty much blow dry and wipe down most of the residue that's left down from the sandblasting, so that leaves a pretty clean metal base anyway. But if you're doing anything other than sandblasting, they recommend that you marine clean the surface. And again, the metal ready is another step. This next step to after using the marine clean, then you use the metal ready, which is etching product, rust remover, pre-primer for port 15 products. It does leave a zinc phosphate coating, and I think that's pretty much Fatster Cat doing on the 71 Camaro. I think that's pretty much what the product you're using is. It's probably much cheaper to go the direction you're going. I'm not sure. I've never seen that product at the Home Depot up here. I'm not sure that they even carry it, although I haven't really looked for it. So I may have a look for that next time I'm in Home Depot. So yeah, so metal ready, again, for sandblasted surfaces you don't necessarily need the metal ready product, but for any new metal that hasn't been, like these floors for instance are new in this car, and if I wasn't sandblasting them and it's new metal, they suggest that you do a metal etch on any new or shiny metals, otherwise the port 15 won't stick to it. So I'll use a little bit of the metal ready on the interior of the tub, just on the edges basically where it's a little bit more difficult to get the Pour 15 to stick, but I won't probably end up using it on the whole tub. Apparently that product is recyclable if you can sort of catch it somehow, if you can rig a catch system, if you have a drain or something, and you can actually drain it and reuse it, but I've never actually done that, but apparently you can do that. So next step after the metal ready and is done and rinsed off, then you go into make sure the car is it's got to be bone dry before you go to the next step. And the next step would be to paint with the Pour 15 product. And the Pour 15 comes in different colors. I just use the gray. I know they have a black. I know they have I think they have a white, a silver. I know they have for sure. So I've just gone with the gray here. And again, just brush it on. Usually a couple coats will do. The first coat will go down not so good looking. Second coat will be better. If you decide to put a third coat on, it goes down nicely. The brush strokes, I actually brush mine on. You can spray it, thin it and spray it, but I just brush it. It seems to go on pretty well, and like I said, this is just for the interior of the tub anyway, and you won't see any of this anyway after, because all the carpet and everything will be laid down on top of it, but the brush strokes do go away. It lays down pretty smooth, so it's a pretty good looking finish in the end. Now the next product is the Pour 15 self-etching primer, and the self-etching primer you put on the Pour 15 after it's cured. This allows other top coats to stick to it. So if you wanted to paint, the top of the Pour 15 with body color, for instance, you could do a quick self-etching primer coat followed by a full primer coat. I think you can use, after you use a self-etching primer, you can use a regular primer on top of that, followed by your color coat. In this case, I'm topping the Pour 15 with this white coat product, which is a brilliant white coating. And as you can see, glossy, rock hard, non-porous, brilliant white. Doesn't chip, crack, or peel, and you can paint directly over Pour 15 or other coatings. It is a two-part coating. It has a harder activator that's measured in, I think it's 4:1. I'll have to check the instructions again since I've used it last. It does come with a little measuring cup that you can do the ratios properly. So in order for the white coat to stick to the Pour 15, you need to do a coat of the self-etching primer first before you put the white coat on. So that's the proper procedure for using this white coat product. And that's pretty much about it. So that's the plan for today. So starting off with the blasting, and then we're going to go into the Pour 15 products, and hopefully by maybe tomorrow late afternoon the whole tub will be done on the interior. Then I can really just concentrate on the exterior of the car and get that ready for real paint. I just put a couple of panels on just for fun, just to see how the panels would fit. They're looking not too bad. I've got the rear fender on it. It's got some repairs needed on it. I've got a real thin piece of metal here. It's got to be repaired. But I thought I'd just throw them on there and see how I did as far as the fit at the rear, since I welded this that rear closing section, and I wanted just to check again the fit on the rear of this panel where there's a bead that runs in here. So I was just doing a real quick fit check on to see how the beading was going to go in this gap here. So it doesn't look too bad. It needs a little bit of adjustment, but yeah, it's not really what I'm concentrating on at the moment. That'll be the next step, is to get all the panels on and lined up and get some of the body work done on the panels. So anyway, the main focus for the weekend is really to get the inside of the tub painted out. Let me see if I can get a real quick I don't know if you can see, and yeah, it's probably too dark. Yeah, I think it's too dark to show you in there. I've done quite a bit of it already, but again, I'm going to give it a quick blast and clean everything up. Some paint on there that needs to be stripped off. I guess you can see it sort of a little bit in there. So basically what I'll be doing is going under in here and stripping all the old paint and undercoating and primer off in here, and then giving that fresh coat of Pour 15 and the white coat. And I'm going to tape off obviously before I do, or after I do the sandblasting, and then I start working on the with the Pour 15. I'm going to tape off all the holes that I don't want any run through. Anything on the bottom of the car, obviously I've got the bottom of the car painted. You can actually see where some of the white coat has come through here, through this hole from the bottom of the car, so obviously I don't want to go on the other way. So So I'm gonna have to tape those holes off once I get the sandblasting done and get everything cleaned out and ready to go. So that's pretty much about it. So I will leave you at that point, and well, 15-minute video already. That's pretty long for me just talking, so I better get to it, and I'll bring you back later on. Talk to you later.